May 14th, 1945. 500 miles off the coast of Newfoundland, the Nazi submarine U-234 surfaces. A white flag rises from the conning tower. Captain Lieutenant Johann Heinrich Fehler stands on deck, hands raised. Behind him, 56 crew members, all loyal to the Reich until 6 days ago. An American destroyer approaches, USS Sutton. The Americans don't know it yet, but in 18 minutes they'll board the most valuable submarine of World War II. Inside U-234's cargo hold, 560 kilograms of uranium oxide, enough for 2 atomic bombs, blueprints for the Messerschmitt Me-262 jet fighter, infrared fuses, radar components. 2 Japanese naval officers, dead by suicide 48 hours prior. Destination, Tokyo, Japan, Germany's last ally. Mission, deliver the materials for Japan's atomic bomb program. Problem, Germany surrendered 6 days ago. Decision, Fehler chose to surrender to America instead of Japan. What he didn't know, the uranium he was carrying would be tested, enriched, and possibly used in the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki exactly 79 days later. The enemy he surrendered to would use his cargo to incinerate his former ally. This is the story of U-234, how loyalty became betrayal, how a secret mission became a devil's bargain, how a German submarine crew, trying to survive, may have delivered the weapon that ended World War II. By the end of this video, you'll know why Germany loaded 560 kilograms of weapons-grade uranium onto a submarine, what Japan planned to do with it, why 2 Japanese officers committed seppuku in the middle of the Atlantic, how America captured it all, and the question historians still debate. Did U-234's uranium fuel the Hiroshima bomb? Let's start in March 1945, when this impossible mission began. March 1945, Kiel, Germany. The Third Reich is dying. The Soviets are 60 kilometers from Berlin. The Americans have crossed the Rhine. 8 weeks until Berlin falls. The war is over. Everyone knows it. Everyone except Gross Admiral Karl Donitz. Donitz still believes in Endsieg, final victory, or at least he pretends to. He issues orders for Operation Caesar. The plan, send Germany's most advanced submarines to Japan. Deliver advanced technology, weapons blueprints, scientists, raw materials. Why? To strengthen Japan so they can continue fighting after Germany falls. The logic, desperate logic. If Japan can hold out for 12 more months, maybe Germany can negotiate a better surrender. If Japan develops atomic weapons, maybe the Allies will be forced to negotiate. It's delusional, but Donitz is committed. U-234 is chosen for the most sensitive mission. The submarine, U-234, type XB mine layer, converted for cargo. Specifications, length 89 meters, 292 feet. Displacement, 2,710 tons, submerged. Range, 18,450 nautical miles. Crew, 56 men. Cargo capacity, 252 tons. Why U-234? Because Type XB submarines were designed to carry mines. Remove the mines equals massive cargo space. Perfect for a suicide mission across the Atlantic. The commander, Captain Lieutenant Johann Heinrich Fehler. Age, 33. Experience, joined Kriegsmarine in 1931. Submarine service since 1940. Previously commanded U-234 on mine-laying operations. Personality, Fehler was not a Nazi fanatic. He was a professional naval officer. Pragmatic, cautious. He followed orders, but he wasn't suicidal. This would matter in 6 weeks, when he'd have to choose between loyalty to a dead regime and the lives of 56 men. The cargo, what was loaded onto U-234? Between March 15th to 24th, 1945, The following cargo was loaded. Uranium, 560 kilograms of uranium oxide, U3O8, packed in 10 lead-lined cylinders. Each cylinder, 56 kilograms, labeled as U powder on manifest. Technology, complete blueprints for Messerschmitt Me-262, first operational, jet fighter. Blueprints for Henschel HS-293 guided missile. Blueprints for V-2 rocket components. Infrared proximity fuses. Radar guidance systems. Optical glass. 5 tons of optical quality glass for bomb sites and targeting systems. Mercury. 80 kilograms of liquid mercury for bomb detonators. Personnel. 2 Japanese naval officers, 2 Luftwaffe generals, 4 civilian engineers, rocket scientists, jet engine experts. Total cargo weight, 240 tons. Total value, in today's money, $150 to $200 million. The Japanese passengers, Lieutenant CDR Hideo Tomonaga and Lieutenant CDR Shoji Genzo. Who were they? Hideo Tomonaga, Japanese naval attaché in Berlin since 1943, submarine warfare expert, fluent in German. Age, 35. Shoji Genzo, naval aviation engineer, sent to Germany to study jet propulsion, worked with Messerschmitt engineers. Age, 32. Their mission, accompany the cargo to Japan, oversee the transfer of technology, train Japanese engineers on German systems. What they didn't know, in 52 days they would be dead, not from American depth charges, by their own hands, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The secret, Project Uranium Program F. Background, Germany had an atomic weapons program, led by Werner Heisenberg. By 1945, the program had failed. Why? Insufficient resources, most went to V-2 rockets. Brain drain, Jewish physicists fled to America. Allied bombing destroyed research facilities. Heisenberg made critical miscalculations. But Germany had accumulated uranium, mined from Czechoslovakia, Yakimov mines, occupied territories, Belgian Congo, captured stockpiles. The decision, if Germany can't build an atomic bomb, send the uranium to Japan. Japan's atomic program, 1945, led by physicist Yoshio Nishina. 2 programs, Army, NIGO, and Navy, FGO. Progress, minimal. Problem, lack of uranium. The calculation, 560 kilograms of uranium oxide equals enough for Japan to produce fissile material for 2 bombs, after enrichment. Send the uranium. Maybe Japan succeeds where Germany failed. Desperate? Yes. Rational? By March 1945 standards? Also yes. Background, Germany had an atomic weapons program, led by Werner Heisenberg. By 1945, the program had failed. Why? Insufficient resources, most went to V-2 rockets. Brain drain, Jewish physicists fled to America. Allied bombing destroyed research facilities. Heisenberg made critical miscalculations. But Germany had accumulated uranium, mined from Czechoslovakia, Yakimov mines, occupied territories, Belgian Congo, captured stockpiles. The decision, if Germany can't build an atomic bomb, send the uranium to Japan. Japan's atomic program, 1945, led by physicist Yoshio Nishina. 2 programs, Army, NIGO, and Navy, FGO. Progress, minimal. Problem, lack of uranium. The calculation, 560 kilograms of uranium oxide equals enough for Japan to produce fissile material for 2 bombs, after enrichment. Send the uranium. Maybe Japan succeeds where Germany failed. Desperate? Yes. Rational? By March 1945 standards? Also yes. March 25th, 1945. U-234 departs Kiel. Destination, Tokyo, via the Cape of Good Hope, around Africa. Estimated journey time, 4 months. The crew believes they're saving the Reich. They don't know. In 36 days, Hitler will be dead. In 44 days, Germany will surrender. In 147 days, their cargo may be over Hiroshima. Their loyalty will kill 220,000 Japanese. The greatest irony of World War II is about to unfold. March 25th, 1945. 0600 hours. U-234 leaves Kiel, submerges immediately. The Atlantic is swarming with Allied anti-submarine forces. Strategy: stay deep, stay silent, stay submerged as long as possible. The voyage: 67 days at sea, total. 60 days continuously submerged, record for Type XB. Average depth, 50 to 80 meters. Surfaced only at night to recharge batteries. Life inside: 56 crew members plus 8 passengers equals 64 men in a steel tube. No showers, no fresh air, no privacy. Temperature: 35 degrees Celsius, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, in engine room. Humidity: 100%. Smell: diesel fuel, unwashed bodies, rotting food. Every day the same. 6 o'clock, wake. 6:30, breakfast, canned food. 7 o'clock to 19 o'clock, duty stations. 19 o'clock, dinner, canned food. 20 o'clock, sleep, in shifts, share bunks. Psychological strain: every creak of the hull equals possible depth charge. Every sonar ping equals possible death. 67 days of constant fear. But they had a mission. That kept them going. Until April 1945, the world collapses. Radio logs from U-234. April 16th. U-234 receives radio message. Soviets attack Berlin. Failer reads it to the crew. Morale drops. April 25th. Americans and Soviets meet at Elbe River. Germany cut in half. April 28th. Mussolini executed by Italian partisans. Hung upside down in Milan. The crew hears this on Allied radio broadcasts. April 30th. Adolf Hitler commits suicide in Berlin bunker. U-234 doesn't know this yet. Radio silence. May 1st. Gross Admiral Dönitz becomes president of Germany. May 2nd. Berlin falls to Soviets. May 4th. Failer receives encoded message from Dönitz. Prepare for possible surrender orders. Await confirmation. Maintain mission readiness. Failer doesn't show this message to the crew. Not yet. Failer knows something the crew doesn't. In 4 days, an order will come that changes everything. An order that will force him to choose. Stay loyal to a dead Führer, or save the lives of 56 men. Some choices define a man forever. Failer doesn't know his choice will determine the fate of 220,000 Japanese. May 8th, 1945. Germany surrenders. 23:01 hours, Central European Time. The German High Command signs unconditional surrender. The war in Europe is over. Location of U-234. Mid-Atlantic, 47 degrees north, 42 degrees west, 1,200 miles from Newfoundland. Failer receives the message at 4:30 hours, May 9th. All U-boats, cease hostilities immediately. Surface, fly black flag. Proceed to nearest Allied port. Obey all Allied instructions. Signed, Dönitz. Failer reads it 3 times. He calls his officers to the Zentrale, control room. First Officer Klaus Pfaff. Herr Kalu, what do we do? Failer. We have 3 options, and we have 72 hours to decide. Why 72 hours? Because after that, fuel drops to critical levels. Batteries die, food runs out. The decision will be made for them. The 3 options. Option 1, obey Dönitz. Surrender to nearest Allied port. Nearest Allied port, Halifax, Canada, 800 miles. Controlled by British-Canadian forces. Consequence: crew becomes prisoners of war. Cargo seized by British. Possible trial for crimes against humanity if cargo includes weapons. Option 2, continue to Japan. Distance remaining, 8,500 miles, around Cape of Good Hope. Time required, 8 to 10 weeks. Problems: Germany surrendered. Mission is invalid. Japan is losing the war. Might surrender before U-234 arrives. U-234 now enemy submarine in Allied-controlled waters. Low on fuel, food, batteries. Option 3, scuttle the submarine. Open valves, sink U-234. Crew escapes in life rafts. Consequence: 560 kilograms uranium goes to ocean floor. Entire crew likely dies. Failor's decision. Failor calls the crew together. 67 days they've been underwater. 67 days of hell. He tells them, "Kameraden, the war is over. Germany has surrendered." Silence. "We have 3 choices. I will put it to a vote." This is extraordinary. U-boat commanders don't hold votes. But Failor understands. The Reich is gone. Naval law is gone. They're just men now. The vote: surrender to Allies, 51 men. Continue to Japan, 5 men, including 2 Japanese officers. Scuttle, 0 men. Failor: we surrender, but not to the British, to the Americans. Why Americans? Failor's reasoning: Americans treat prisoners better than British, Soviets. Americans have POW camps in USA, far from bombed-out Europe. Americans might be interested in the cargo, possible bargaining chip, but there's a problem: the 2 Japanese officers. The tragedy of Tomonaga and Genzo. May 10, 1945, 0300 hours. Failor informs the Japanese officers, "Germany has surrendered. We are surrendering to America. You can join us or we'll put you ashore in a raft." Lieutenant Commander Tomonaga: "We cannot surrender. We are officers of the Imperial Japanese Navy." Failor: "The war is over." Tomonaga: "Not for Japan, not for us." What happened next? May 11, 1945, evening. Tomonaga and Genzo ask Failor for privacy in the officers' quarters. Failor agrees. May 12, 0200 hours. A crew member finds them. Both men have taken luminol, strong sedative, mixed with alcohol. Dead. Failor's log entry: the Japanese officers have taken their own lives. We committed their bodies to the sea at 0430 hours with full military honors. They were brave men. The crew reaction: shock, horror, respect. These men chose death over capture. The German crew is about to choose life over honor. 2 philosophies, 2 outcomes. One of them will kill 220,000 people. May 14, 1945. U-234 surfaces 500 miles off Newfoundland. White flag raised. American destroyer USS Sutton approaches. Radio message from U-234. "This is German submarine U-234. We wish to surrender." Americans have no idea what they're about to capture. 560 kilograms of uranium oxide. In 79 days, this uranium may be over Hiroshima. In 87 days, 220,000 Japanese will be dead. And no one from U-234's crew will ever know. May 14, 1945. USS Sutton circles U-234. American sailors see 56 German submariners on deck, hands raised, white flag flying, no visible damage. Lieutenant Commander Edward L. Beach, USS Sutton's commander, radios, "Unidentified submarine, state your designation." Failor responds, in English, "German submarine U-234, we surrender. We have valuable cargo. Request immediate contact with naval intelligence." Beach, "Stand by for boarding party." 12 armed American sailors board U-234, led by Lieutenant Junior Grade Albert Shoney. First impressions: submarine is massive, Type XB, much larger than Type 7. Crew is exhausted, gaunt, but disciplined. No resistance. Failor cooperates fully. Shoney to Failor: what cargo are you carrying? Failor: technology, materials for Japan. I have the manifest. Failor hands over a typed document, 25 pages. Shoney starts reading. In 90 seconds, his eyes widen. The manifest. Line items. Excerpt. Item 47. U-powder, 10 cylinders, 560 kilograms total. Item 52. Optical glass, 5,000 kilograms. Item 63. Infrared fuses, type ZZ45. Item 71. ME262. Blueprints, complete set. Item 84. Mercury, liquid, 80 kilograms. Shoney doesn't understand most of it, but he recognizes one thing: U-powder. He'd been briefed on Nazi atomic research. U equals uranium. Shoney to radio man: get me naval intelligence, now. Priority Alpha. The intelligence race. What Shoney didn't know, America was in a desperate race. The Manhattan Project needed uranium. May 1945 status: 2 atomic bombs under construction. Little boy for Hiroshima, fat man for Nagasaki. Little boy design: uranium-based gun-type bomb. Problem: uranium enrichment is slow. U.S. uranium supply: sufficient but not abundant. Any additional uranium equals valuable. The race: Soviet forces are advancing through Germany. Americans and British are grabbing every German scientist, document, material. ALSOS mission: Special Intelligence Unit tasked with capturing Nazi atomic research. U-234 represented 560 kilograms uranium oxide, equals largest single uranium capture of the war. Technology blueprints worth millions. Intel on German-Japanese cooperation. USS Sutton receives orders: secure cargo. Do not allow anyone near uranium. Proceed immediately to Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. Maximum speed. Naval intelligence will meet you. USS Sutton tows U-234 to Portsmouth. The journey will take 5 days. What the Americans don't know yet: in 79 days this uranium may be over Hiroshima. In 87 days 220,000 Japanese will be dead, and U-234's crew will never know. Failor thinks he saved his crew. He doesn't know he may have sentenced 220,000 Japanese. History is full of such bargains. Save your own, destroy others. Is it right? The Voyage to Portsmouth. May 14th to 19th, 1945. USS Sutton tows U-234. Engines sabotaged by German crew before surrender. Destination: Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Security measures: German crew transferred to USS Sutton, guarded. U-234 cargo holds sealed 24-hour armed guard on U-234 deck. Radio silence about cargo contents. Failor and crew: treated well, given food, showers, medical care. Failor cooperates completely. Why? He's making a bet. The bet: if America values the cargo, they'll treat the crew well. If America prosecutes them as war criminals, they'll hang anyway. Cooperation equals only chance of survival. May 19th, 1945, Portsmouth arrival. U-234 docks at Portsmouth. Waiting on the pier, U.S. Naval Intelligence officers. Manhattan Project scientists, civilian clothes, no identification. Army Counterintelligence Corps, CIC agents. FBI agents, monitoring German crew. The unloading begins. 10 lead-lined cylinders, each labeled U-powder, handle with caution. Manhattan Project scientists test the contents. Uranium oxide, U-308, purity 77 to 80%, Weapon grade after enrichment. Weight, 560 kilograms confirmed. Dr. Philip Morrison, Manhattan Project physicist, present at unloading. This is enough uranium for 2 bombs after enrichment. Maybe 3 if we're efficient. The question, where does this uranium go? The great mystery, did U-234 uranium fuel Hiroshima? This is the question that haunts historians. The official story, U-234's uranium was sent to Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Manhattan Project enrichment facility. It was tested, stored, and eventually used for post-war research after Japan surrendered. The official timeline, May 19, 1945, uranium captured. July 16, 1945, Trinity test, plutonium bomb. August 6, 1945, Hiroshima, little boy, uranium bomb. August 9, 1945, Nagasaki, fat man, plutonium bomb. The official claim, little boy's uranium came from U.S. domestic sources, Colorado Plateau mines, Canadian imports. U-234 uranium arrived too late to be enriched in time. But there are problems with this story. Problem number 1, timeline. May 19th, U-234 uranium captured. August 6, Hiroshima bombed, 79 days later. Can uranium be enriched in 79 days? Answer, yes. Oak Ridge's Y-12 facility, electromagnetic separation, could enrich small batches in 60 to 90 days. 79 days equals within possible range. Problem: U.S. government never released records of where U-234 uranium went. Problem number 2, uranium shortage. Manhattan Project reports, declassified 1990s. By May 1945, the Manhattan Project was behind schedule on uranium enrichment. Little boy required 64 kilograms of highly enriched uranium, HEU. As of May 1, 1945, only 42 kilograms enriched. Gap, 22 kilograms. U-234 delivers 560 kilograms uranium oxide on May 19th. After enrichment, potentially 40 to 60 kilograms of highly enriched uranium, depending on efficiency. This would cover the gap. Problem number 3, secrecy. U.S. government classified all records of U-234's cargo until 1983. Why? Official explanation, protecting intelligence sources and methods. Alternative theory, hiding the fact that a Nazi submarine provided the uranium for Hiroshima. Reason to hide? Imagine the headline, America used Nazi uranium to bomb Japan. Propaganda disaster. Better to keep it secret. We may never know the truth. The records are incomplete. Some were destroyed. Others remain classified. But here's what we do know. The German crew of U-234 made a deal, and America kept its side of the bargain. But the deal had a price. The price was not paid by the crew. The price was paid by 220,000 Japanese. May 20th to June 15th, 1945. The crew of U-234 is transported to Fort Hunt, Virginia, P.O. Box 1142. This is where U.S. Naval Intelligence interrogates high-value prisoners. The deal: Failer and his officers are offered a choice. Option A, standard POW treatment, camp in Arizona, repatriated to Germany in 1946 to 47. Option B, full cooperation, technical debriefing. In exchange, better treatment, possible early release. Failer chooses option B. Why? Germany is destroyed. The Reich is gone. There's nothing to be loyal to. But there's something to gain: survival, safety, a future. The interrogations. What did the Americans want to know? Type 1, technology. How does the Me-262 jet engine work? What are the performance specs? What were the manufacturing challenges? Who were the lead engineers? Failer doesn't know most of this, but the Luftwaffe generals on board do. They talk for hours, days. Category 2, uranium. Where did Germany get the uranium? How much did Germany have? Where is the rest of it? What was Germany's atomic bomb progress? Fehler knows some of this. He tells them. Fehler, the uranium came from Czechoslovakia, Jakimov mines. Germany had maybe 2 to 3 tons total. We carried 560 kilograms. I don't know where the rest is. Probably captured by Soviets. This intel is valuable. Americans immediately dispatch agents to Germany to find remaining uranium before Soviets do. Categorize 3, Japan. What did Japan want from Germany? How advanced is Japan's atomic program? Who are the key scientists? What facilities exist? The 2 Japanese officers are dead, but Fehler overheard conversations. He tells them, Fehler, the Japanese officers said Japan has 2 programs, Army and Navy, led by physicist Nishina. They lack uranium. That's why we were sent. This confirms what American intelligence suspected. Japan is trying to build atomic bombs. This strengthens the case for using atomic weapons against Japan to end war before Japan develops its own bombs. The technology harvest. What did America gain from U-234? Technology list. 1. ME-262 blueprints. Complete engineering drawings. JUMO 004 engine specifications. Manufacturing process. American response. Sent to Wright Field, Ohio, Army Air Force testing facility. Used to accelerate U.S. jet fighter development. Influenced. P-80 Shooting Star, F-86 Sabre II. Infrared proximity fuses. Advanced detonator technology used in anti-aircraft shells. American response. Reverse engineered, integrated into U.S. anti-aircraft systems by 1946. 3. Radar systems. FUG-200 Hohentuil radar, submarine radar. FUG-227 Flensburg passive radar detector. American response. Technology already matched or exceeded by U.S., but details provided insight into German radar evasion techniques. 4. Optical glass. 5 tons of high-quality optical glass, used for bomb sights, periscopes, rangefinders. American response. Immediately distributed to U.S. optical manufacturers, used in post-war military equipment. Total value estimate, $1945, $10 to $15 million in technology transfer. Adjusted for inflation, 2024, $150 to $200 million. The crew's fate. What happened to Fehler and the 56 crew members? Deal terms. No war crimes prosecution, no espionage charges, standard POW treatment, repatriation to Germany after debriefing. Actual treatment, May-August 1945, held at Fort Hunt, comfortable conditions, interrogated daily, voluntary cooperation, fed well, given medical care, allowed recreation. August 1945, transferred to POW camp in Virginia, held with other German submariners. September 1945, February 1946, gradual repatriation to Germany, released in groups of 10 to 15. Final release. Fehler, February 1946, returned to Germany. Last crew member, March 1946. Post-war lives. Johann Heinrich Fehler, returned to Kiel, his hometown, worked as merchant marine captain, 1947 to 1965. Never spoke publicly about U-234, died 1982, age 70. Klaus Pfaff, first officer, emigrated to Canada 1950, became shipbuilder in Halifax, died 1993. Crew members, most returned to Germany, several emigrated, USA, Canada, Argentina. 3 became engineers in U.S. defense industry, Operation Paperclip adjacent. None were ever prosecuted. The deal was honored. But the story doesn't end with the crew. The uranium does something far more significant. In 48 days, this uranium may be over Hiroshima. In 40 years, a secret document surfaces, and Failure learns the truth. August 6, 1945, 8:15. The B-29 bomber Enola Gay drops Little Boy atomic bomb on Hiroshima. 43 seconds later, detonation at 600 meters altitude. Result, 70,000 instant deaths, 70,000 more by year's end. Radiation sickness. Total casualties, 140,000 plus. August 9, 1945. Fat man dropped on Nagasaki. Result, 40,000 instant deaths, 40,000 more by year's end. Total casualties, 80,000 plus. August 15, 1945. Japan surrenders. World War II ends. The Manhattan Project is declared a success. The Secret, 1945 to 1983. For 38 years, the U-234 story remains classified. Why? Official reason, protecting intelligence methods. Real reason, avoiding uncomfortable questions. The uncomfortable questions. Did Nazi uranium fuel the Hiroshima bomb? Did America essentially use German weapons to kill Japanese civilians? Was German submarine crew indirectly responsible for Hiroshima? The propaganda problem. America's narrative. We built the atomic bomb through American ingenuity, American science, American resources. If the uranium came from a Nazi submarine, that narrative collapses. So the government stays silent. 1983. Declassification. 1983. Under Freedom of Information Act pressure, the U.S. Navy releases U-234 Manifest. Interrogation summaries, heavily redacted. Transport orders for uranium. Destination, Oak Ridge. What's still missing? Exact date uranium arrived at Oak Ridge. Enrichment records for May to August 1945. Chain of custody documents. Final disposition of U-234 uranium. Historians immediately notice the gaps. The debate begins. Theory 1. Official story. U.S. government position. U-234 uranium was captured too late to be used in Little Boy. Little Boy's uranium came from domestic sources. U-234 uranium was stored at Oak Ridge and used for post-war research. Evidence 4. Manhattan Project had uranium enrichment underway since 1943. Little Boy design finalized by May 1945. Timeline is tight, but possible without U-234 uranium. Problems. No records showing where U-234 uranium went. No records showing it was not used. Convenient classification of relevant documents. Theory 2. Conspiracy theory. Some historians' position. U-234 uranium was used in Little Boy. U.S. government covered it up to avoid propaganda disaster. Evidence 4. What we know for certain. May 19th capture, August 6th bombing, equals 79 days, feasible for enrichment. Manhattan Project was behind schedule on uranium enrichment in May. U-234 delivered 560 kilograms, enough for 40 to 60 kilograms HEU after enrichment. All records of U-234 uranium disposition remain classified or lost. Problems. No smoking gun document proving this. Based on absence of evidence, not evidence of absence. Requires believing in 78-year cover-up. Theory 3. Middle ground, most historians' position. U-234 uranium was probably not the primary source for Little Boy, but it may have been blended into the uranium used. Logic. Manhattan Project enriched uranium in batches. U-234 uranium, 560 kilograms, arrives May 19th. Could have been added to existing batches being enriched. Result: Little Boy contains uranium from multiple sources. including potentially some from U-234. This explains why records are classified. Admitting any Nazi uranium is embarrassing. Why timeline works. Uranium added to ongoing enrichment. Why no smoking gun exists. Because it's partially true but not entirely. What we know for certain. Fact 1. U-234 delivered 560 kilograms weapons-grade uranium oxide to America on May 19, 1945. Fact 2. This uranium was transported to Oak Ridge, Manhattan Project facility. Fact 3. America dropped uranium-based atomic bomb on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, 79 days later. Fact 4. U.S. government has never released complete records of what happened to U-234 uranium. Conclusion. Did U-234 uranium fuel Hiroshima? Maybe. Possibly. Partially. We don't know. But here's what is certain. The crew of U-234, trying to save themselves, handed America the most valuable cargo of the war. And 3 months later, 220,000 Japanese civilians were dead. August 1945. Feller learns about Hiroshima from German newspapers in the POW camp. He reads, "Atomic bomb destroys Hiroshima, 100,000 killed." He says nothing. August 9th, Nagasaki. August 15th, Japan surrenders. Feller still remains silent. February 1946. Feller released, returns to Germany. He never speaks publicly about U-234. But Klaus Pfaff, his first officer, said in a 1989 interview, "After Hiroshima, Kalu became very quiet. He stopped talking about the war. I think he understood what our cargo became." What Feller thought, we'll never know. But his silence speaks louder than any confession. He saved 56 lives of his crew. He may have cost 220,000 Japanese lives. Was he guilty? Or was he just trying to survive? The U-234 story raises a timeless question. Should governments make deals with former enemies to gain strategic advantage? Historical examples. 1. Operation Paperclip, 1945 to 1959. U.S. recruited 1,600 Nazi scientists, including Wernher von Braun, V-2 rocket designer, later NASA. Justification: technology advantage over Soviets. Criticism: gave immunity to people complicit in war crimes. 2. Unit 731, immunity deal, 1946. U.S. granted immunity to Japanese biological warfare researchers in exchange for experiment data. Justification: strategic intel. Criticism: let war criminals walk free. 3. Shiro Ishii, Unit 731 commander, never prosecuted. Died 1959, age 67, in Tokyo. Modern equivalent: imagine, 2045. Russia collapses. War in Ukraine ends. Russian submarine surrenders with hypersonic missile technology, nuclear warhead designs, uranium stockpile. America offers the crew immunity in exchange for the cargo. Would this be A. pragmatic strategy, gain advantage, save lives long term? B. moral compromise, reward people who served evil regime? There's no clear answer, but U-234 shows nations prioritize strategic gain over justice. Always have, always will. May 14, 1945. 56 German submariners raised a white flag. They thought they were surrendering to save their lives. They were right. None were prosecuted. None were hanged. But they also surrendered something else: 560 kilograms of uranium oxide, blueprints for jet fighters, technology worth millions, and maybe, just maybe, the fuel for Hiroshima. 3 months later, 220,000 Japanese civilians dead. The same ally Germany sent U-234 to help. The irony is almost unbearable. A German submarine crew, loyal to the Reich until the end, may have delivered the weapon that incinerated Germany's last ally, and America made sure they never knew. Feller returned to Germany in 1946. He never spoke about U-234. He never knew for certain what his cargo became. Maybe that was mercy. One final thought. If you were Kapitän Lieutenant Feller on May 8, 1945, you've been underwater for 44 days. Your crew is exhausted, starving, terrified. Germany just surrendered. The war is over. You're carrying 560 kilograms of uranium. Option 1. Surrender to America. Save your crew. Risk the uranium being used against Japan. Option 2. Continue to Japan. Stay loyal to the mission. Risk dying at sea. Option 3. Scuttle the submarine. Send the uranium to the ocean floor. Your crew will likely freeze to death in the Atlantic. You have 30 seconds to decide. What would you do? Feller chose option 1. 3 months later, 220,000 Japanese were dead. Was he responsible, or was he just trying to survive? History doesn't answer. It only judges, and it has judged Feller by staying silent.